Hi, I'm John Twist of University Motors. Today we're looking at redoing the front suspension pads on an MGB 1963 through 1980. The whole front cross member is a distinct part of the unibody. On the T-type and MGA, it's part of, welded to the body as it is on the midget. But here, the whole front cross member comes loose. But the cross member and the body are not anchored directly metal to each other. Instead, they've got these rubber pads, or what's left. Here's what's left of the rubber pads. So there's a rubber pad here, and then at the bottom, and that goes up against a flange on the cross member, and then up around in here, there's yet another pad, which is missing on here, and then up at the top there's a nut. So during our complete lubrication, we used to test to see if the cross member had come loose from the body. So with a wheel on here, you put your shoulder underneath the wheel and lift up. And if it's loose, if the cross member's loose, the whole works goes tunk, 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 tunk. Now you wouldn't notice that driving because the weight of the car is so heavy, and it's laden on the cross member. So unless you go over train tracks or something that's like really jumpy, you wouldn't even notice that there was something odd. And even when it comes loose, it doesn't always clunk. Robert, whose car this is and is doing the work, where'd Robert go? You come over here. We can see how involved Robert is. He can show you his hands. I washed mine because I've been helping him out, but what we had to do here is disconnect the anti-sway bar from the link. That's just the easiest way to get that apart. Then we had to take the steering arm off the back of the kingpin. Take the steering arm off the back of the kingpin. Take the top bolt loose, and we've got the whole rear arm loose on the shock. So when we go to put it back in, it lines up really easily and fits together nicely. The whole point was to get the coil spring out of here so you can reach up inside and get what is all but an impossible stud. I've got one here. I've got the example here. Here's the stud. It's got a larger diameter that goes at the bottom and a smaller at the top. And it falls, like everything else on the car, it falls right off, but to put it back on, it's just dicey. So you got to take it all friggin' apart. It is just an incredible task to do. We'll get this one side done today. We'll probably get both sides done here today. But that's what's involved, is dropping this thing apart, putting the bolts back up. I don't know if can you see this red pad here? In here, that one's easy. That's easy schmeezy. You can change that anytime. It's the one in the front that you can't see from the camera angle, which is straight up through here, because there are two bolts on either side that hold it to the body. So then, when we go to put it back together, we'll put the coil spring back in here, lower the hoist. Of course, we got a hoist. I did this on my daughter's car. Without a hoist. You can do it at home. Robert was going to do it at home, but I offered the hoist here, so it's easier. Anyway, put the coil spring back in, bring the thing back up, bring this bolt back through at the top, and then start to tighten all the stuff up. Of course, the caliper is hung on by a nice heavy piece of wire here. You don't want to have the brake caliper just swinging on the line. The line is made to carry brake fluid, not to support a caliper. So we'll do both sides. Theoretically now, the rack and pinion doesn't have to be readjusted as far as its angle, because it's going to be the same as it was originally. You can get different shims that go between the body that take the cross member, which is sitting kind of like this, and bring it up so that the caster angle of the kingpin becomes more vertical. The more vertical the caster, the easier the steering. The more vertical the caster, the more you have to steer. Because if the caster's out like this, where the wheels are moving like this, it's like one of those motorcycles. The front wheel's about a quarter mile out in front of where the driver's sitting, and he doesn't have to hold on to the handlebars. It tracks by itself. TCs have got a lot of caster in them because you don't steer a TC, you aim a TC. But here, you can bring that back up, makes the shearing effort less, but you got to reposition the rack and pinion, and I have yet to talk to anybody who said, oh my gosh, I did that in my car, oh, it's so much easier to drive. I haven't heard that yet. This video will prompt some responses, of course, and then maybe I'll say, oh, it's worth doing. But it was put on, the caster is a function of the bias ply tires, and when they went to radial tires, they didn't straighten it out. So it's just fine the way it is. If you've got the original steering wheel, all MGBs steer pretty easily for a non-power steering car. Anyway, that's it. Changing the shims up top. You can buy these. These are the, what kind are these?
The Moss or urethane.
Oh, urethane. These are from Moss.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and they come. They're available from Moss and other people too. You can get the original ones, but these are original ones, you know, and they fail. And who knows what the quality of original factory style ones would be today. These things are no doubt a whole lot more durable. So that's it. Wish us good luck. By the time we make our next video, this will be off the hoist, I hope. So till then, safety fast.